In today's video, I'm going to go over the top 4 factors for you to consider on whether you're financially ready to buy a home. But first, if you could do me a big favor and hit the like button on this video and go ahead and subscribe to our channel, that would help us a lot reach other people that might benefit from this information. So here's the question: should you buy a house now or should you wait? Now, being a real estate agent myself, and this being the way that I feed my family, you might think that my answer to this question is always yes, as soon as possible, whatever it takes. But the real answer is it really depends. It really depends on your individual circumstances. Sometimes I'm sitting down with clients and we're talking about their circumstances, and from time to time, I'm sitting down with somebody that's not prepared for buying a home just yet. And so the answer to this question can often be no. So there's a lot to think about and a lot to consider. And I'm really excited to go over these factors with you today, just as kind of a guideline for you to think about whether you're ready or not. And when the time comes that you are getting more serious about it, feel free to give me a call. We can talk about your individual circumstances anytime. I'm always available for you. So let's get right into it. Factor number 1, whether or not you should buy a house. So the first factor that I always like to talk to people about is, what is your income situation? What's your job situation? Are you in a job that you expect to be at for years to come? Are you looking to change jobs soon? How's your employer doing? Are they in a growing position, or are they looking to downsize anytime soon? If you feel like you're on the edge and you might be losing your job here in the next couple of months, definitely that's a red flag as to why that you should probably not be looking to buy a house. The second thing for us to talk about is your income. Is it primarily salary based? Is it hourly? Do you have a lot of bonus and commissions involved that vary from month to month? The more variable your compensation is, and the more stagnant it is, the more conservative we might think about how much property you might be able to afford, and what's comfortable for you. The second factor that I want you to think about today is, how long do you plan on being in the property? In the market that we've been in, people are buying property thinking that they might, buy it and it's going to go up in value in the next year. And then in 2 years or something like that, they'd be ready to sell it and buy something different. Now, that could certainly continue to happen. The market here in Denver continues to thrive. There are some seasonal things to think about as you're moving forward that would be good for us to talk about sometime. But, if you're buying a property with the expectation that you're going to turn around and sell it in a year, without actually making any improvements and just riding the market up, I think that's, a risk for you to think about and to consider. But more likely, I'd like for you to be planning on living in the home for at least a few years, 3 to 5 years. I think that's a great game plan, and I think a 3 to 5 year period, whether the market goes crazy and goes up or stays flat or grows slowly, I think that that you would have a lot of benefit in a 3 to 5 year window. So that's something for you to think about. The third thing for you to think about whether or not you're ready to buy a house is, what kind of savings do you have? Do you have an emergency fund? If you lost your job tomorrow, do you have some funds and savings or access to some funds that would allow you to survive while you're looking for your next job? When you purchase a home, sometimes you move in and something unexpected happens. The water heater could go out. You might need money for a deductible. You could get a hailstorm that comes through and you might have to cover your deductible. And so it's important that you have a little bit of money in savings at least. A lot of financial gurus and such say, to have at least 3 months worth of savings, 3 months of your expenses and savings, just in case, something unexpected happens. And I think that's a good rule of thumb for you. Also, as part of the process, there's going to be additional expenses along the way that we'll talk about in number 4. one last comment on this one. So there are some financial gurus out there, Dave Ramsey in particular, who suggests that you should rent something very cheap for many, many years until you save up enough cash to just be able to go out and buy a house. Now that may be a very conservative approach, and some people might lend themselves to that, but that is not my suggestion. I think that the opportunity that real estate brings, I think if you were to rent for many, many years and try to save up to pay cash, I think it's going to be a moving target for you, and over the years you're going to lose a lot of purchasing power, and I think that you're going to lose a lot of growth opportunities that come along with real estate. So I don't agree that you should be paying 100% cash for a home unless you're in a financial position to do that right now. I don't think that you should be renting for 10 years to save up enough money to pay cash for a property. I just think that that you would be missing out on a big opportunity. If you were to do that in the last 10 years, you would have missed out on huge growth opportunities, and I just don't advise that. I do think that you should be in a financial position where you have a strong emergency fund, that you're in a conservative job situation, and that you move into a property that you're planning to be in for at least 3 to 5 years. As always, if you have any questions about the content of this video or just want to talk about real estate, finances, anything along those lines, I'm always here to help. Feel free to reach out. My contact information will be in the description below. And thanks a lot for watching. One last favor to ask of you, if you wouldn't mind, if you haven't already, subscribing to our channel. That'll help us reach more people and expand our audience so that more and more people can benefit from our content. Have a great day.